Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Success Life Live. My name is Reid. It is 8 a.m., so it is time for a Success Life lesson. And yeah, you're sort of getting the scruffy, casual, still in holiday mode version of me. Came up to the mountains, and so got some time out this morning to go and just be alone and walk and settle into my sort of self. So this will probably have to come off once I get back to the real world, but that's just me. And in case my buddy Matthew decides to tune in, be like, wait a minute, you're in the car, stop driving. Okay? Car key in hand. Hard to operate a moving vehicle when it's in my hand. And I got to encourage you guys. I know that we've got gizmos and gadgets and keepers and trackers for our phone that we don't need to touch it. But if our mind is divided and we're worried about the likes and the happy faces and the smileys and the comments and all of that that's going on our phone, our eyes are not on the road ahead. And you guys are far more important to me. So I'm pulling out the keys, all right? So my little lecture, my PSA, whatever you want to call it, don't drive. Don't try and Facebook. Don't try and share your life when you're in the middle of doing something that requires so much of our attention. All right, that's all I'm saying. There's nothing out there that's worth that much. So good morning again and welcome to Success Life Live. Yes, we came up to the mountains. You know, it was this debate. Do we stay in the house or do we go to the mountains? Do we pack up the kids? What are we going to do? So we threw everything in the car, which, by the way, this thing was so packed that if somebody had farted, there wouldn't have been room for it. And drove up to the mountains so the kids could be with grandmas and grandpas and uncles and aunts and cousins and chaos and have Christmas. So it was a wonderful holiday. Hope you had the same experience being able to be with your family and your loved ones and your cousins, your grandmas, your grandpas, your uncles, your aunts, your whatevers. And now, you know, it's kind of Wednesday. We're easing back into the work world. We're easing out of the holiday. And I know we've got New Year's that's going to crash in. But it's time to start thinking about 2019. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do with this little bit of homework, excuse me, got to pop in my Atlanta Drive hands-free videos. Okay. In the mountains. Yes, in the mountains. We're in the cold country anyhow. So here's what I wanted you to do. And it's kind of a little tradition I started doing with myself a couple of years ago. And write a letter to yourself. So as we're taking down the Christmas tree, as we're packing away the Christmas stuff, as we're starting to, you know, return the house to normal and we put all those boxes out in the storage or up in the attic or down in the basement or wherever they go, I want them to include a letter to you from you. And so what I do is in our family, we have the same stockings year after year. Everybody's had the same. My stocking I've had since I was like a little thing. And I always slip a note to it for myself to be read next year. And so the letter is written sort of in a future past tense of the way. I write it as if I'm opening it up sometime around Christmas. And it's now Christmas 2019. And I tell myself, I'm so proud of you for making these changes in your life. And then I talk about the results that come from it. And I sort of reflect as if everything that I said I was going to be doing in 2019 had been accomplished, been achieved, had been directed, had been moved into action. And I tell myself as a Christmas gift in 2019, how proud, how happy, how joyful, how just, you know, thumbs up, way to go. It's a little Christmas present to me. And honestly, not everything in that letter ends up happening. Not everything in that letter comes to be. Not everything in that letter turns out. Which is also a bit of that accountability, that little bit of benchmarking, like, oh my gosh, did I really think, did I really say, did I really believe in that? And then I start to ask myself, why didn't it happen? What was lost? What didn't connect? What pieces fell apart? But in the writing of the letter today, or between now and when you pack up your Christmas stuff, whatever your family tradition is, Lord, I hope that you're not one of those families that does it in June. No respect for those people. What I want you to do is just write yourself a letter that says, I'm so proud of you. The change, when you committed to making the change to change your diet, to begin to invest time in yourself, to hire a coach, to develop a food plan, to develop a workout plan, to develop a financial plan, to build curriculum, write the book, whatever it was that you know that in your heart, in your mind, that you're committed, that you're going towards, that you're driving towards, that you're like, you know what? My New Year's resolution, I'm going to ride or die, it's not getting away from me, is going to be this. Then write your letter today about celebrating that success. Write your letter today about achieving that moment. Write that letter of gratitude and pride and warmth around that letter, so that when you're unpacking all the Christmas chaos and getting ready for Christmas 2019 and you're like, oh, here we go. And you discover that letter stuffed in the bottom of your stocking or on top of the Christmas ornaments or shoved in the tree or whatever it is. And you sit back and read it. And you're able to go, you know what? I did do that. I made that decision. And it felt good. It felt better than what I thought it would feel like. It felt more empowering than what I thought it would feel like. It was bigger, better, stronger than what I thought. Todd's heading to the mountain house. Maybe you'll get snow, Todd. We just got frost. But here's something that we all know. That in the back of our mind, I call it the sleeping mind or the silent mind. It's the subconscious mind is never really disconnected. It's never off doing its own thing. It's not like the kids going to Granny's for the day. I'm still connected to them. In writing that letter, in preparing that letter today or tomorrow, whenever you do it between now and Christmas, good morning, George. We have got to get together in 2019. End of statement. We're going to make it happen. Your mind is like, oh my gosh, I've got that letter in that box. And you know what I think is often funny about my letter is, as we begin to head towards Thanksgiving and we head towards, Christmas, I'm like, oh God, that letter's in that box. I got to put the gas to the pedal to the metal. I got to pour into the gas. I got to get it done. If I ain't got it done, I got to get it going. It's sort of always in the back of my mind that I've got that letter and I don't want to disappoint Eric 2019. And so I'm always silently working. I'm always somewhat consciously working. I'm always intentionally working to fulfill the promise that I said in that letter. And so it's just one of the many things you can do during this holiday season as you begin to plan your goals, as you begin to plan your vision for 2019, as you begin to pour yourself into next year, as the tinsel settles and we begin to gather our lives back into normal and we begin to plan and focus in on what we want for 2019, as you pack away the Christmas, as you pack away the stockings, as you take down all of the lights and this stuff, slip in a letter to yourself that when you open it in 2019 is going to congratulate you for achieving all of the things that you dreamed 2019 was going to be about. All of the wants and desires and changes that you were going to commit to. Go ahead and write that letter to yourself. Just do it. Because what I've learned over the years in writing this letter to myself, I got a bit of a head cold, is that I get really focused on what goes in that letter because I don't want to disappoint myself. So I don't put really big, crazy, like the dreams that I know I'm not really invested in, that my heart isn't really connected to. I put those things in that I really, truly want and that I truly want to celebrate for a year from now, that I really, really want. Because often I'll meet with people as a coach and we'll talk about their goals and it's like, well, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, that's a really huge dream. That's a really big goal. But truthfully, have you earned the right to dream that dream? Have you developed the muscle and the energy and the focus and the commitment to do that? Because if you tell me you want to run the Boston Marathon in under 30 minutes and you haven't been in a gym in 10 years, come on. But if you tell me you want to be in better shape now than you were next year and that you're going to do this and you're going to do that and we develop a strategy and the Boston Marathon happens to become part of that strategy, great. So be careful with your dreams. Think about, what have I earned the right today to begin to dream into tomorrow? And I'm not saying you can't have big, audacious, crazy, wild dreams. One of my favorite things, I'll show you right here because I'm not driving and so I can reach in the glove box. I love buying a lottery ticket because I will sit and I will daydream and I will fantasize and I will think of all the schools I'm going to build and all the things I'm going to, yes. But when I begin to strategically plan the change in my life, the habits I want to create, the lifestyle I want to have, I got to know where I'm at. I got to know what my resources are. I got to know what I'm capable of. And then I got to say, okay, I'm going 10% bigger, 20% bigger, 30% bigger. And here's my strategy and plan to achieve it. And if I follow this course and commit to it, the logical outcome will be this. And if I get to this logical outcome, man, I'm going to celebrate today. I am going to celebrate 2019. I'm going to celebrate my life. But don't put yourself in that position where you create these dreams, these fantasies, I'm going to build a schoolhouse in every country that starts with the letter whatever, and not even like earn the right, not even like take the time to like, wait a minute, I don't even, no, I'm practical, I'm logical, I'm disciplined, I'm committed. Now, I'm not saying you can't dream big. I'm not going to say you can't become a New York bestseller. I can't say that you're not going to win the Boston Marathon or save $1 million, whatever. But dude, people, if you're not doing the work today and you don't have a plan to start doing the work tomorrow and you haven't put down the strategy to being successful in getting there, don't set yourself up for disappointment and setback and fallback. You can always modify your goals. You can always modify your dream at mid-course. But let's get on course. Let's get clear about what we can achieve in the first 3 months, the first 6 months of 2019. And then if you and I need to have a conversation, go, you know what? I am crushing it. I'm hitting my sales goals. I'm hitting my weight goals. I'm hitting my finance goals. I'm like clearing my pages. I'm writing 20 pages a day and I'm inspired. And the editor is saying it's the best book ever. Then great. Let's amp it up. Let's twist it up. Let's take it 10%, 20%, 30%, 40% more. But, you know, I often laugh. It's the people who show up at the gym this time of year, and we all know who they are. Not going to say me included because I started a couple weeks ago. And they walk up to the machine and they rack it up. That's a gym term. You know, they fill it up with all the 45s they can. And they go to lift it and they, 1, 2, 3, look at me. I'm a big, strong muscle. And you don't see them for the rest of the year. Why? They burned themselves out. They broke themselves down. They crashed and burned right there on the spot. Because they hadn't earned the right to walk into the gym and load up those weights. No, what they needed to do was load it up with something reasonable, practical, get in the habit, get in the discipline, showing up every day at the gym, doing the work that needed to be doing, incremental growth, incremental change, compound effect to achieve what they wanted. Works that way in our finances, our fitness, our faith, our family, our business. I had somebody once say, I want to have 10 new clients by the end of the month. I was like, good for you. How many did you get in the last 6 months? 0. Okay, wouldn't it have been more practical to develop the strategy and habits and planning and systems in place to get 1 new client every month for the next 6 months? And you get it, folks. Anyhow, that's a different lecture, different teaching. Good afternoon. Thank you, Greg. We are here in the mountains. It is officially like 23 degrees, which is disappointing because I hate cold without snow. It's like if it's not going to snow, then keep it around 65, 75. Don't give me this frosty cold thing that, you know, everything's green and brown. But anyhow, welcome to mountain life. You don't know. It may snow in 2 minutes. So anyhow, the lesson, the homework for today. Write yourself a letter. Say, congratulations, Greg. So proud of what you achieved in 2019. You said you were going to do this. You set a goal of achieving this. You set a vision and a plan in place to achieve this, to have this, to accomplish this, to give this, to do this. And I am so proud of what you've accomplished. You are a man of commitment, a man of vision, you are, etc. And just write that letter to yourself and seal it up, drop it in your stocking, drop it in the top of the Christmas box, put it someplace where when you start to unpack 2019 or Christmas 2019, you'll see it. And then go off and be by yourself for a moment and read it and feel that and connect to it. And, you know, who knows? You may be like, wow, I did that and 10 times more. But I love writing future letters to myself. So I love using it as a tool to remind myself that next year on my birthday, there's a letter coming, or next Christmas, there's a letter coming, or, you know, different times and different occasions. I know that I've spoke to future self, because what I've told future self is this is where I want to arrive. Present self, this is who we're going to become. Present self, this is where we're going. Present self, this is what we want to feel in the future. This is, if we have all the choices in the world, this is where we want to be. This is where we want to go. This is who we want to be and feel and know. So write your letter to future self, then start packing up all the crazy and chaos and, settle in. Got a few more days of this half holiday, half work thing going on. Don't forget Fun Friend Friday. You got to be on Fun Friend Friday with me, Melanie, my friend and parent and expert. She's a teacher. She's a special ed teacher. She's a mom. She's a homeschooler. So like if anybody knows how to survive the parenting thing, she does. We're going to do a little bit of parenting with a purpose. It's going to be kind of also built around surviving the holidays. I made a few mistakes on being a dad during the holidays. I did a couple things right during the holidays. I wish I had Super Nanny hanging out over my shoulder, helping me get it right. But you know what? Hey, like I said, I said, you know what? So this sounds really silly, but no, I know it doesn't look good on me. Don't even try and tell me it does. This reminds me that I'm on vacation. This reminds me that I am not on duty at work in mode. When I'm in scruff mode, it reminds me that I'm somewhat off center in the sense of not staged. I'm not at work. I'm not in production. I'm not doing my normal hump and grind thing. This reminds me that I'm here with my family and I can let things go and have a little bit of casualness and, all of this. And so when this comes off, it's sort of like stepping back into the real work, the real production, the real things that I do every day in my office. And this is sort of the office hour reminder thing. And so I have no intention of keeping it, by the way. Nobody can convince me. It's annoying. It makes me feel dirty. It makes me feel unfinished. It confuses me. So somebody the last time said, oh, you should grow a beard. I was like, oh, never going to happen. Well, never's never, but anyhow. I want you guys to have a very Merry Christmas. I know today is filled with leftovers, and the best part about it is the leftovers, you're allowed to eat calorie-free again because all the calories were consumed yesterday, and you're just eating the leftover empty calories. Have some pumpkin pie for dessert breakfast. We are in my house. And then figure out what the rest of the day is going to be about. But do take time out to write yourself that scruffy look. I got to see that. Sorry. I have the wrong glasses in the car. Never ever. Yeah, it's really bad, you guys. I don't even think I have my hair stacked right. But anyhow, I went out for a walk this morning and just connected. It's one of the things I love to do when I'm in the mountains is just walk and connect again. So I wish you guys a very Merry Boxing Day. Go out and visit with friends and neighbors and take time out, though. Take time out to write this letter to yourself. Really get alone in a corner. Focus in on what you want to feel for Christmas 2019. What you want to be able to congratulate yourself about. What you want to really be able to say, wow, I crushed it in 2019. I'm so proud of what I did. Write that letter today. Write that letter before the Christmas tree gets put away, before you take down the stockings, before you pack away 2018. Pack away with it the letter that you're going to open on Christmas season 2019. Trust me, it's a fun little experiment. And if you didn't get signed up for Success Life Live, make sure you do Success Life newsletter. Sorry, make sure you do that. That goes out every Tuesday. It has little coaching tips, little coaching ideas like what we just explained, and some other general information about upcoming authors. This is our next, after we do Lead Like a Superhero, this is our next upcoming author talk. It is, I think, the 19th. Don't quote me on it. Manifesting a better life with God, using your inherent God nature, which includes the law of attraction. Whoa. Like, this takes prayer to another level. This takes alignment and connectivity and awareness of God and God-centered living to a whole different place. Well, when a person that writes it has a doctorate, you know it's going to be like a high-level read. So loving it. But that'll be in January 9th whatever the Wednesday is of that week is lead like a superhero. Then skip a week. Then the next week is going to be this. This Friday is Melanie parenting with a purpose. So we got a busy week ahead. So enjoy today, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern for Success Life Live. I think we're still in the mountains one more day. Kind of debating that. We'll see. But until then, go out and live your life of success. Celebrate the loved ones that you have around you. Take time to breathe in Christmas now that the Christmas chaos and rushing and whatever has been, set aside. And just connect to yourself. Connect to your 2019 self. Talk to that person and pour into it. You'll love the letter exercise. Let's see what Miss Pat has. Oh, well, thank you. Miss Pat, I need to connect with you. Yes, I know. We have an agreement. We're going to talk frequently. But I really did set aside this week to just sort of disconnect and be with family. So till tomorrow, you guys, I will see you then. Go out, live your life of success. You are an amazing person. Bye-bye.